Hey guys, welcome to the Get the Phone Ringing Show, where small businesses come to copy success in 45 plus categories weekly. I'm your host, Jeff Wilson. It's very nice to meet you. And our show today is about stopping spending so many hours on your business and start making more money, all through pricing adjustments. Yes, pricing. Now you may be thinking, I can't adjust my pricing. My pricing is what my pricing is. Well, we beg to differ. And our expert trainer today, Brad Farris, will show you how to think about your pricing. Literally, you're going to watch him, in essence, over his shoulder as he would consult a client to start thinking about who their top clients are, how their pricing models can be adjusted, and really how to make more money and spend less time on your business doing it, or spend the same amount of time and make a lot more money. It's actually pretty simple when you go through it, and Brad's written an ebook just for this topic, and this training touches on the overall principles of that ebook, and then he'll give you the ebook at the end of this. You can find that all in the show notes. So, Brad Farris, why listen to him? Brad has consulted over 100 small businesses in the Chicago area, so he's seen every industry under the sun, and he's applied this pricing model to just probably about every industry you can think of. So, if you're kind of wondering, could this really apply to my industry? Again, I think you might be surprised. Anyway, don't take my word for it. Why don't you watch the show and see for yourself? I'm really excited to share it with you. We will see you inside the show. Thanks. Bye. Hey guys, welcome to the Get the Phone Ringing Show. I'm your host, Jeff Wilson. I've got a fun guest with me today that's going to talk a little pricing. His name's Brad Farris. Brad, thanks for being on the show today.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Hey Brad, where are you logging in from?
I'm logging in from Chicago, Illinois. It's a beautiful sunny day.
Nice, Chi-town. Hey, if you want to just jump into the pricing stuff, we are dying to hear about it because everybody wants to know how to price their products for maximum profit. So,
all right, let's do it. So first, a little bit of background. I'm a small business advisor. I work with small business owners. So all the time, I'm kind of in the trenches with the small business guy. So my clients are usually kind of that 10 to 100 employee small business.
Okay.
And what I found that kind of surprised me working with these guys, and usually this is more on the smaller end, but what I found that really surprised me is a lot of the men and women that I'm working with are working really hard. They're growing a terrific business, and yet they're not making the kind of money that they had expected they were going to make as a small business owner.
Oh, yeah.
So people might be 3, 4, 5 years into their business. They might have a business that's grossing $500,000, $1 million, and they still aren't making as much money as they were making in salary when they were in that corporate job.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's not fun, right?
No, it's not fun.
Because you're taking all the risk of being a small business owner, and you're not making the kind of money that we need to make. So this presentation is geared toward, and there's more than I can do in just the 20 minutes that we're going to be working on this together.
Sure.
But this presentation is geared toward getting the small business owner oriented toward how do I get past this? How do I work less, make more? Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I mean, not for me. I want to actually work more and make less. But for a lot of the people that'll watch the show, they might be interested in it for some reason.
All right, so I'm going to start off by talking about something I call the U-curve. And this is a curve where we've got profits on the vertical axis, sales on the horizontal axis, right?
Yep.
So when we start our business, we're down here, we got neither sales nor profits, right? But the good news is that our overhead is really, really low. So with just a little bit of sales, we can tend to generate some pretty good profits, right?
Yep.
We're in our basement. We're working a million hours. We're kind of the chief cook and bottle washer. We're doing the QuickBooks. We're doing the prospecting. We're delivering the service. We're the one-man band.
Yep.
And that can be a really profitable gig. But if we're good at it and we kind of start to get those profits in, then we realize that this is not scalable, right? We can't do twice as much business with the one-man band. We need to start adding some help. And so maybe we hire a bookkeeper. Maybe we get a real phone system or a real email system. Maybe we start hiring some employees. Maybe we get an office, right? And all these things help us to grow our sales. but they actually hurt our profits.
Okay.
So as our business grows, our sales can grow, but our profits start to drop off. And somewhere along here, it levels out. And it levels out at whatever the business owner's tolerance is for not making money, right?
Is there a tolerance axis on this?
Yeah, well, that's what this little arrow is. It's whatever you decide is the minimum that you can possibly live with, that's where this is going to flatten out.
Okay.
And so for some people, it's 40 grand. For some people, it's 100 grand. But it's still not great money,
right,
when we're talking about the size of business and the risk.
Yeah.
And what I tell people, and when you're at this point, it's not easy. A lot of business owners at this point say, screw it. I made more money when I was on my own, and they go right back over here, right? They fire everybody. They close down the office, and they go back to making money, and then they realize, crap, that didn't really work. Now I'm back to working 100 hours a week, and, and I'm still getting more clients in, and I don't want to say no to them. So that's not really a sustainable answer to the U-curve.
Sure.
But what they don't know when they're sitting at this point is that the reason I call it the U-curve is because it does come back up over here, right? Because we only need one phone system, and we only need one office, and we only need one mail server. And so once we've made those overhead investments that bring us down the U-curve, then eventually we can start going back up again.
Okay.
The trick is we want to get through this as fast as we possibly can, right? We want our U-curve to look like this and not like this.
Right.
Follow me?
Yep.
Okay. So what we're going to talk about next is how to accelerate our way through the U-curve.
I like that.
And the trick to moving yourself through the U-curve more quickly is actually right in the center of this Venn diagram. So let me explain what we got here. Obviously, we have 3 circles. The blue circle represents the group of things that you are the best in the world at. These are the things that you're just fantastic at, that you're gonna give massive value to your clients. You can do it in your sleep. You're snapping along, right?
So my blue circle would be really small then. Do you want to draw like a little separate blue circle over to the side and be like, this is Jeff's?
Well, we could just scale it back up. So, we'll just zoom in on yours, okay?
Yeah, just take the corner of the box and just shrink it down for mine.
So the blue circle is the things that you're the best in the world at, that you've developed competency, that you're really good at. And for most business owners, when they get started, this is what they start their business doing, is the thing that they're really good at. Sure.
That's usually what they leave their job at, right?
Exactly.
That's
right.
Kind of how it starts for most.
Exactly. But what's interesting is they find that not everything that they're good at is stuff that they can get paid for, right? So there's a bunch of stuff out here that they're really good at, but that no one wants to pay them for. And so the green circle is the things that you can get paid for. And so it's good that we've got a good solid overlap here of things that we can get paid for.
So the blue circle might be like, I'm really good at foot massages.
Yeah.
But I need to make money as a chiropractor. Although, actually, a chiropractor could give good foot massages. That's a bad example.
They could. Yeah, so there'd be some overlap there,
That's
right? But in order to be a good chiropractor, you have to do more than just the foot massages.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? And then the red circle is a tough one. The red circle is the things that we really enjoy doing. The things, it represents our passion, the things that are fun for us to do. And what we find out is, and again, this is something that during this U-curve cycle, people are trying lots of stuff, right? When you're growing your business, you kind of follow where the opportunities are. And there are a lot of business owners that end up doing a lot of stuff that's just not a lot of fun for them.
Oh, yeah.
And so you've seen folks that end up in that situation?
You're looking at one who's had that situation from
right
from time to time. In fact, I find that a lot of the not energy, but a lot of the sort of strategy that I put into the things that I do is to try to remove myself from the things that I'm either not good at or really don't enjoy. Even though I might be good at them, they're just not the kind of things that I get enjoyment out of, so I end up putting them off, whatever. And I think that's
right.
true. That was true back when I used to do homework, and that's true, when you do business. It just is the same thing. You just put stuff off that you don't want to do.
Yeah, and you put stuff off, and then you end up delivering it late to the client, and it's a bad situation for them. And the truth is, if you're doing stuff that that you can get paid for and that you're good at, but you're not enjoying it, you're headed toward burnout, right?
Yep.
You can only do that for a certain period of time. And when we're actually doing stuff that we're good at and that we love to do, we can work 100 hours and it doesn't feel like we're working like crazy, right? Because we're passionate about it. It's something that we're enjoying. We love to do it.
Yep.
All right. So obviously what we really want to find are those things that we're good at, that we can get paid to do, and that we love. That's the center part of this circle right here, right? That's the sweet spot that we want to end up in. And what I tell people, I mean, when I'm working one-on-one with people, the first thing we do when we get to this chart is we take out a customer list. And so we take out the customer list and we say, okay, let's sort it from the person that paid you the most last year to the person that paid you the least. So we're going to start with your big customers first, and we're going to put them on the Venn diagram, right? And so, Mike, we do something for him that we're good at, we don't enjoy it, and he doesn't pay us very well. So he's in the blue circle, but outside the green circle.
He's in the danger zone.
Exactly, right. Maurice, he pays us really well, but we're kind of making that stuff up as we go along, and it's really not a lot of fun, right? I had one client that I did this with recently. He's like, no, my top 3 clients, they're out here. I'm not good at it. They don't pay me well, and I really don't have any fun doing it.
You're like, well, I don't really know where to start then for you.
Well, no, you do know where to start.
Yeah, exactly.
You need some different clients.
Yeah.
Because in order for us to sustain the business and to make a lot of money, we need to be in that center circle, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
So when we're looking at this circle, now we can end up with dots that are all over here, right? So the ones that are only in one circle or that are in no circles, we know those are not clients that we really want to spend a lot of time.
Okay.
The people that are down here, I'm going to call this area 1. That you really enjoy the work and you can get paid well at it, but there are people that are better at it than you. You need to get better at that, right? We need to improve our skills, because if we improve our skills, then we can drive that into the center. So again, those are easy. The ones that we find down there, we're enjoying it. It's fun. There are people that are willing to pay us for it. We just need to get better at it.
Okay.
So that's pretty straightforward. Area 2 over here, where we're really good at it and we really enjoy it, we got to figure out how to monetize that, right? So that can be a little bit more difficult than just getting good at things. We have to figure out who it is or how it is that we can get paid to do that stuff that we enjoy and that we're really good at.
Yeah, that seems worthwhile and tough.
Yes, right. It can be very difficult. It can require some creativity. But it's like you say, there's a drive there, right? It's something that we know we're good at and that we enjoy. There's got to be a way to get paid for that.
Okay.
And the 2 things that you need to think about are, am I approaching the right clients, right? So the people that I'm working with right now might not be willing to pay me well for it, but are there other people who are willing to pay me well for it?
Sure.
And then the second thing is, how am I getting paid, right? And we'll talk about this a little bit later. Some people are getting paid hourly, and part of the problem is that hourly doesn't always pay well because of the dynamics of getting paid hourly, and especially if it's something you're really good at, you do it really fast, it doesn't make you a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
So should it be a subscription? Should it be a fixed fee? There are different ways of getting paid that might make this stuff more valuable to us. So area number 3 is the toughest, right? So this is something we're good at and that people will pay us for, but we really don't enjoy. And the problem with number 3 is we got to quit doing that stuff. And that's hard because it's stuff that's paying. And I'm not saying we had to quit doing it right now immediately, like I'm going to call those people up and say, hey, I'm not going to do this for you anymore. But we have to create a plan that gets us away from doing this stuff that is, over time going to burn us out.
Now, I would think that number 3 would also be a candidate for, if I'm a business and I have that might be an opportunity for me to outsource. or to be a middleman and contract that out. Is that also an alternative that you talk about?
As long as you're not doing it, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is stuff that you don't have a passion for.
Right.
And so, one of the things that we talk about in the book, and we didn't mention this at the outset, but I wrote a whole ebook about this, and you can get it at the NMAS site, and I'm sure you'll link it up in the show notes down below.
Yep.
But this is a key place where you can, like you say, you could partner, we could outsource it, or we could just raise the price and use price to control demand, right? So the more we raise the price, the less of that we're going to do.
Right. You might start loving it again.
Yeah, right. There is a price at which it becomes fun again.
Yeah,
right?
you're like, that's $1,000 an hour. I really love this now. God, I love doing this.
So if we get back to looking now that we've looked all around, we look at this center, the stuff that we love to do and that is really good for us. This is the stuff that we want to do more and more of.
Yep.
And what I tell people is the key to getting more stuff in that center triangle here is it's a little bit surprising. It might feel a little bit backwards, but when you raise your prices, what happens? When you raise your prices, the people that continue to work with you are the people that love what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a range of clients, let's say you have 20 clients, and they're all willing to work with you at $1,000 a pop. If you go to $1,200 a pop, the ones that what you were doing for me was okay. I liked it, but you weren't blowing my doors off. Those are the ones that leave.
Yeah.
Right? The ones that stay are the ones that are like, Brad, you are brilliant. $1,200. Oh my gosh, forget it. An extra $200. Let's go. Let's keep going. Right?
Yeah. Like I was surprised you didn't raise your prices before.
Exactly right. And so for every business owner that's out there who's thinking, I'm working like crazy, I'm not making crazy money, there are clients that you're working with right now that would pay you double for what you do. They're the ones that for whom you are this sweet spot, right? That you are so passionate, you're communicating exactly, I love doing this work, and I'm great at it. There isn't anybody else that could do this work for you. And so for those clients, the value exceeds what you're asking from it, right?
Yep.
So those people are the ones that will pay a higher price. And what's great about that is most of those clients, if you go down your list, like you sorted your list, those are the clients that are already in this sweet spot. They're the ones that you enjoy working with, you're having fun with. They trust you, right? They don't look over your shoulders. They're not penny pinching and looking at everything that you do on your bill and saying, hey, how come that took you so long?
Right.
And you're really good at it. So they really appreciate it. They're getting a lot of value out of it. So if you focus your marketing efforts on the people that are in that triangle, then you can raise your prices and you won't get the kind of price feedback or price pushback that you're concerned that you might be getting.
It's almost not almost. This is like a fundamental vision quest that you go on to find out where can I, what does that customer look like? One of the marketing terms that a lot of people use now is avatar. So you create an avatar for who that ideal client is, and his name is Steve, and he's this old, and he does this and this, and he's this kind of client, and this is what he likes personally. It's almost like you are not almost. I know this is what you're doing, right? You're basically stepping back and saying, what does that ideal client look like? Could we raise prices for the existing ones that look like that, and then how do we find more of those? Right.
And that's exactly right.
And I would think one other thing that you may talk about in your ebook, or it's certainly I know a principle that probably isn't too far away, is when you would look at that ideal client base and say, how could I design a product that might be even better for them, right? That might be even, I could charge more that delivers even more of this type of service or something, where you'd reach out to that demographic and say, well, what else would you like, right? Because if you like working with them, they're passionate about you, they're willing to pay a premium.
Yeah. Well, and again, when I'm thinking about that business owner who's in this part of the U curve, they're coming down. They're in the flat part of the U curve. To some extent, what we do when we're stuck in that place is we just reach out and we take any business that comes. Right? We need what most business owners think when their profits are dropping is I just need more sales.
Yeah, that's panic zone, right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so we start grabbing things because we think we can get paid for them. But a lot of those things that we end up grabbing in that cycle, I mean, there's stuff that's in this green circle, but it might not be in the red or the blue circle, right?
Yep.
And so we've grabbed a bunch of stuff that's taken us off away from this core center value of the things that we're really good at and the things that we're delivering excellent value for. And so putting it on this grid helps us to kind of refocus and say, okay, some of this stuff out here, I just need to stop doing. You know, I need to finish these projects up and then not take more of that work. And that's really scary. You know, when you tell a business owner, yeah, don't take that kind of work anymore, it makes them nervous. Like, oh my gosh, well then how am I going to pay the bills? Well, you're going to pay the bills because you're going to get more of this good stuff that's right here in the middle.
Yep.
And you can look at those clients like you're talking about, look at those clients and say, what do they all have in common? You know, what is it about them that makes us attractive to them? Why is it that they love working with us? And then further, how did I meet them? How did I come across them? So you can focus your marketing and sales process so that even though you're narrowing your focus, you're working with a more specific type of person, your marketing and sales process actually takes less time, right?
Oh, yeah, and I think this is a different topic. There's a lot of rabbit holes you could go down on this, but when you identify that class of customer and you really spend the time to design exactly what they want, so now you maybe don't make them use the product or service that everybody uses. Maybe you design something just for that demographic. Odds are they have a referral base of folks that are like them that they could refer you to as well, right? Like you could find that when you deliver something custom to them, they become a passionate evangelist for, you know, your company, what you have. It seems I could see where that would even be less marketing effort, right? Because referrals would come easy.
You know, and that's a great topic. Let's talk about referrals real quickly. When you've got a problem, let's say you've got you've been traveling internationally, and so you have a problem with taxes, you know, and how you're going to handle your income taxes when you've been in 3 different countries making money in different ways, right?
Yep.
That's a really specific problem. And so what you're saying is, you know, I can find a lot of tax accountants, but I don't know if I can find the tax accountant that knows about this international issue. The guy for whom that international work is right there in the center of their sweet spot, that's the guy that you're looking for, right?
Oh, sure.
So if he represents himself, if he puts himself out to the marketplace and says, you know, the people that I really love to work with are these expats that are in a whole bunch of different countries and they have really complicated tax needs, but I've figured all that stuff out and I can handle it. When you hear that, you're like, this is my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the more narrow, the more focused you can be in describing to the world what this center sweet spot is, the easier it is for those clients to pick you, right? The client that's going to fit in this spot, if you can really communicate that clearly, is going to be attracted to that like a magnet.
Yep.
So that's part of the purpose of this, is that when we're eliminating all this distracting stuff that's out here, it creates capacity. And that capacity allows us to do more proactive marketing, where we're really reaching out and looking for this ideal client that's in the center of the sweet spot, that's gonna close much more quickly, that's gonna love what we do, and that we can charge a much higher price to.
Now some businesses are more set up for this strategy than maybe others, right? Like some this is like right in their wheelhouse, and other ones they might not have as big of opportunity to do this. But do you feel like this, you know, in your dealings and travelings with small, medium businesses over the years, do you feel like this is applicable to just about every business in some way, shape, or form?
For the people for whom it's a requirement are service businesses, right? Any service business, the challenge and opportunity of a service business is you can do anything, right?
Yeah, right.
If I want to be an advertising agency tomorrow, I just go out and find a client who's going to pay me to do their advertising, and I'm an advertising agency.
Yeah.
So service businesses have this problem in spades. You know, manufacturing and distribution businesses usually have a more narrow focus, you know, because they've got capital invested in some way or another. But I've done this with manufacturing businesses. I've done this with distribution businesses, and you'd be surprised how many of their product lines end up straying out off into some crazy land. And again, it's because we were chasing sales. Somebody came to us and said, well, if you would sell this thing to us but make it this way and paint it brown and package it in this other box, we'd buy it.
Right.
You think, oh, well, that's easy. But it turns out that it's not that easy.
Yeah. And it takes their eye off the ball on the other things they probably should be doing.
Exactly.
Which is a cost that you never really, I think businesses never really identify. The lost opportunity of pursuing what they should have been doing all along.
Yeah, opportunity cost.
Yep.
So let me show you how this works. Let's say, just for instance, that we have 10 clients and I'm bad at math, so I'm going to use easy math, at $1,000 each, right?
Okay.
And so that's sales of $10,000, right?
Yep.
But if we've got our ideal clients, the people that really love what we do, let's say we could charge them $1,200, right? But of those, so now we're going to do that at $1,200. But of the 10 clients, maybe only 9 of them are our ideal client, right? So now how much do we have?
11.8, right? 9,008. 10.8.
I think we got
10.8.
Yes.
Let's make it 11.8. That way it just looks better. We'll fudge the math.
But even at 10.8,
yeah,
you've got more money and fewer clients.
Yep, and better customer service for them.
You've got people that love you. You've gotten rid of that one client that was chewing on your liver and complaining about the bills and nothing was ever right for them.
Yep.
And you've got more money. What's bad about more money?
I mean, I can't think of anything offhand. Can I reach back out to you? Can I reach back out to you if I come up with something?
Yeah, we can work on that. Why don't you take that as homework, Jeff?
Yeah.
You can send me an email.
More money,
what's wrong
bad.
With more money?
More money, bad.
But here's the truth. What I've found with most of my clients is it's not really a 20% difference that we're usually giving people. Usually when we get to the right price for their services, it's usually more like a 50% difference, right? And so at a 50% difference, maybe it's not 9 clients, maybe it's 6 or 7 clients. But if you had 7 clients, now at $1,500,
that's 10.5.
There you go. Your math's faster than mine, and I've done this a couple times. Now you're making still more money than you started with 30% fewer clients.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's one of those things that is kind of magic, right? We're making more money, and we have fewer clients just by focusing on these guys that are in this center ring.
Yeah, and then the last thing that you haven't shown there yet, but is the idea that, okay, now you focus on those types of clients and you go get 3 more of them. Now for now for the 10 clients, you're making 15,000 instead of 10. And yeah, that's huge.
Right.
Yep.
And that's just where I was going, is that now not only do you've got fewer clients, you're making more money, but when you get those next few clients, they close faster. You're not running around chasing a bunch of RFPs and going after a bunch of business that you're never going to get. So you're what I tell people is that if you stay in this sweet spot in the middle here, you're going to do things you're going to do kind of the same thing over and over again. I'm not saying exactly the same thing, but your work is going to be more similar than it is going to be different.
Sure.
And so the proposals are easier to write. The projects are easier to plan. You have more confidence in the deliverables. You have more confidence in the time frames. And so the whole business, generally speaking, gets easier.
Yep. Systematized.
Right.
Yeah,
you're
for
making
sure.
more money, and you're not working as hard.
Yeah, dude, I like it a lot. And do you have anything more on this topic today?
No, this is good. This is exactly where I wanted to go today.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, folks, we will put some links down here for ways to get in touch with Brad and his company. And Brad's got a lot of exciting things going on, starting a new entrepreneurial community. He's got his business advisory. And Brad, you just want to mention real quick the entrepreneurial community website?
Sure. Yeah. We've got a new website that has been up about 6 months. It's an entrepreneurial community, as you mentioned. It's a place for business owners to come to meet each other, to get some information like this. In fact, one of the things that I'll send you, Jeff, I've got a link to this this Venn diagram here.
Okay.
That's got a whole explanation about how to use it and everything, so people can just pop in, grab it, and put it to work.
Oh, cool.
And that's really what Nmast is all about, is that through working with the small businesses in my consulting business, I've got like 100 of these things that I've done with small businesses over the years. And so we just decided to type them all up and put them in PDFs, and we're going to put them on the Nmast site. If you join as a member, you'll get access to all the tools and templates that we have. And so what we say about it is, when you've got a problem, you can pop right in, you can get the tool you need, you can get back to work. So you're not starting from a blank sheet of paper, you're starting from stuff that is time-tested and proven, so you know it works.
Yeah, it's like years of refined strategy.
Yeah, or yeah, exactly, of what's worked for other business owners.
Yep.
So that's the idea of what's going on in Nmast. And then specifically, if you want to go deeper on this issue of pricing and focus, we've got an ebook that's up there that's free. It's called Getting from Puppy Profits to Big Dog Earnings.
Nice.
If you look, right now it's right on the homepage. It's on the sidebar in the blog. You can link right through there and get yourself a copy of the ebook. That'll take you a little bit deeper into the material that we talked about this morning.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah, so we'll link up to all that stuff so that it's easy for people to find it. And then we'll put your Twitter on there as well so people can follow you there. And everybody who's watching, hopefully you learned as much as I did today. And as you've seen, Brad can go a lot deeper with this. So this is sort of an intro to it. And if you've enjoyed this show and you've learned something today and you feel like there might be other business owners that can learn something as well, then please spread the love. Maybe spread it to, if you know 100 business owners, maybe spend the next 6 to 8 hours just sharing this nonstop. If you don't have that kind of time, maybe share it with a couple. And if you want to get updates and new shows coming in to your inbox, then you can sign up right below this video or somewhere on our page. We always have it easy for you to sign up, and we'll send you new shows as they become available. And again, thanks for watching. Brad, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
No worries. It's great.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye.